All right, the boss has come to you and he says, hey, we got to increase the profits. We're halfway through the year and it doesn't look good. I need to have more profits before the end of the year. We need to increase it. I am counting on you to get those profits up before the end of the year. What are you going to do? How are you going to increase profit on your projects? How are you going to make more money for the company? You have your projects. I don't know what we're going to do. They got budgets already. How do we increase the profits? Let's discuss that in this video. When we're trying to set the profit levels of a project, we're always looking at how our structure of our pricing is for our engineering professional services. Obviously, some of the first things that we could do, you might think, well, if I want more profit, I should increase my price. If I want more profit, I should probably lower my expenses. That's right. There's those two basic techniques. Raise your prices and lower your expenses, and then you get higher profits. But how do you go about doing that really? So let's discuss a couple different ways of increasing your profits for your small engineering company. Probably the first and foremost way of knowing how to increase profits is knowing what you're capable of doing as an engineer. What is your expertise? Every engineer has a different set of tools. Every engineer is great at something and not so good at other things. No matter if you're a mechanical, electrical, plumbing, civil, aeronautical, computer, whatever kind of engineer you are, we all have our level of expertise. So we should work in those areas. Find projects that relate to what our expertise is. What will happen if you're doing projects within your expertise? You know it. You're in your comfort zone. You're able to finish the project quicker, therefore making more profit. If you work on projects that you're not as comfortable with, well, then you're going to spend more time researching, making sure you crossed your T's and dotted your I's. You're going to make sure that all your calculations are right, that you're using the right ones. You're not coming from a base of knowing. You're coming from a base of, I kind of know. And now I got to back up everything to make sure I did it correctly. You'll also have more reviews in the reviewing agencies. All that costs time and lowers your profit. So when you're trying to increase profit, that you want to work on projects that you have the most expertise in. Number 2 is to know your market. Know exactly who is the individual you want to be your client for your company. Now, why is that important to increase profit? Kind of like in the first technique of working on projects where you have the most expertise, the same works for the markets. If you know that market, if you know the people in that market, you know what they need, what they desire, what they want, well, you're able to provide the services that they need and they want. That means that you can provide the services to them at a competitive price, which means then you can have more profit. The third technique to increase your profits is to make sure that your fee schedule is competitive. Now, what does that mean? A competitive fee structure is that your prices are not the lowest in the market and they're not the highest. They're right in with pretty much everybody else. But how do you find out the information of what the competitive pricing is? I mean, you don't go out and see everyone else's fee structure. They're not going to divulge that information to you. So how do you find out? In government contracts, the bids are public knowledge. So you can go out and find out what the other companies are bidding and on their line items. So you can easily find out the competitive pricing for everything and work your numbers closer to that. In the private sector, we don't get to necessarily see other competitive fees from other companies. So we find out by, first, a good relationship with our clients, and they kind of tell us sometimes, hey, you're way underneath everybody else's prices. Why don't you bump your prices up a little bit more from now on? Or maybe, hey, your price is a little bit high. If you could come down a little bit, you got the project. That's telling you where that competitive pricing range is. That's what you're looking for. So you may find that to do a technical drainage study in your market is around $5,500, but you've been putting out to bid for $3,000. that means you've been leaving on the table $2,500. That's profit that you don't get. $2,500 that the client keeps. $2,500 that you could have had and had as profit. What I have found for most small engineering companies is that their pricing structure is way too low. They do not value their professional engineering services as much as the market can bear, okay? You need to put your prices at the competitive mark. And if you do so, you'll find you have more profit and you'll be able to grow your company. The fourth technique in order to increase your profits is to look at your marketing. Are you marketing the targeted market that you want your clients to come from? If you are marketing to people that you don't necessarily want as clients, then you're wasting money. You're wasting time and money, which is taken away from your profits. So therefore, you want to be targeted. You want to be exactly where you want to be at, marketing to these individuals. These people are the ones I want as my future clients. Don't waste your time in other markets unless you're willing to take more and more of your profits away and send it out to marketing. You must look at the right audience at all times. Must market them. Always concentrate on them. And if you do so, you'll find you get more and more clients, and more clients means more and more projects, which means profits. And that's what we're trying to do, is increase those profits. The next step in increasing your profits is to actually build a relationship between you and your clients and the industry that you work in. In other words, the stronger your relationship is with these individuals, the more likely they're going to send more work to you. They may not have any work, but they may know someone else that is looking for your type of engineering services and that they will refer them to you, hence getting more projects, which again is more profits. You always want to have a very good relationship between you and the industry that you work with. And that also includes the government entities, the reviewing entities, the people who are looking at your plans. I have so many referrals that come to me that are coming from the government agencies for people who are asking for a couple different engineering companies that can provide the services that they need. Government entities aren't allowed to say anybody specifically, but they can give a list of potential clients to them, or potential engineering firms to that individual. It's great to have your name, your company name, on that list. Now, talking about lists, that leads me into the next technique to increase profits. That is to build a contact list. If you're getting short of projects, you don't have too much work going on, you might want to hit that contact list. And it's not uncommon to have, for an engineering firm to have a contact list that's well over 100 contacts, well over 200. In fact, many have contact lists that are into the thousands of individuals. And it's great when you are looking for more work that you can easily hit an email and say, hey, you guys, you got any work out there? You know anybody who has work that's in this particular area? I'm looking for maybe a mechanical engineering project that's needed for maybe a building or something. You know of anybody who would be interested in hiring an engineer? And that's the way you use a contact list, is so that you easily can go out there and find somebody that needs your services. Now, a contact list doesn't necessarily mean an email list. It could also be a phone list. It could also be a social media type list, such as LinkedIn, which is where I find a lot of my clients, is through LinkedIn. In fact, I have literally thousands of contacts on LinkedIn, and it's one of the best services for that. But you also have other ones. Facebook is a great source. You have many other types of resources that are contacts. How do your clients, what media do they use? Do you use texting, email, phone lists? You know your clients, you know your audience, and make sure you build that contact list and constantly grow that list, because whenever you need to find new work, that's the place you're going to go to start making those contact calls. That leads me to the next list that we should all have, and that's what's called a referral list. I love it when I get referrals from other companies sending them to me. And so in kind, I also refer clients to them. So that's my referral list. And a referral list can be long and lengthy. It could be, my referral list contains lawyers, architects, architects for construction, architects for commercial projects, architects for residential projects, residential designers, contractors, general contractors. It includes other engineering firms such as mechanical, electrical, plumbing, other civil engineering firms that have very specific type of work that they do. The list goes on and on. I have well drilling services. We have surveyors listed on our referral list. Even though we have an in-house surveying section, there are specific types of surveying that we don't do, but we know of other companies that does do that type of surveying. So this is a huge referral list, including banks, bonding companies. And so then we can take from that, whenever a client asks, do you know of anybody that can give me a bond? Oh, sure. These are the 3 or 4 companies that we recommend off of our list. Boom. It goes over to them and it's done. And boy, they're thankful when they get that, because it just made their job a whole lot easier. And guess what? When they have another project, they're going to think of you. They know that you helped them find a good contractor, a good lawyer, a good banker, what have you. And now they want to do in kind back to you some services also. So that's another way of increasing that profit, is by constantly giving information out that doesn't take much time, but is very useful to someone else. Before I go to the last technique to increase those profits for your company, I know that you're looking for more information on how to run your engineering business, how to be a good project manager, how to lead as a project engineer. Well, we have many, many videos on those specific subjects for the engineering companies. So to find more videos, please go down below and subscribe to our channel. And also, please go way over there and click on the bell so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. And finally, if you want to increase your profits, is to deliver on what you promise. You promise that you will have a project done by a certain amount of time. You promise that you will deliver these reports to the government entity on this date. You promise, deliver. If you promise that that you're going to write a letter that will get them out of trouble with the sewage treatment plant, I don't know what that may be, but whatever you promise, you make sure you deliver. And if you do that often enough, delivering on your promises, the word gets around, because this is a small world and everybody knows everyone, but they especially know those individuals that deliver on their promises. And those who deliver on their promises, they generally don't have any problem getting more work, because everyone looks for that type of individual, that engineer that can deliver on his promise. And as long as you have plenty of work, you'll have plenty of profit. So I know you've gotten value out of this video, so please go ahead down below and subscribe to our channel, and also go to that bell over there and click on it, so that way you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. Every video is about 8 to 12 minutes long, and it's loaded with information on how to lead as an engineer, and how to manage engineering projects, and how to run and operate an engineering company. Also, if you go way over there, you'll see the next video is coming up, and that we recommend that you watch on the business of engineering. So until the next time, keep on learning how to be a better engineer, how to be a better project manager, and we'll see you on the next video.